Thank you everyone for being here and giving up your time to do this afternoon. I'm actually really excited to do this, so we'll see how it goes on here on Zoom, or if you're watching this a bit later on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my practice, and then we'll go on to and explore that in the workshop. All right. So I'm a writer and director, and I run a company called Milk Presents, and we make theatre. So we're a theatre company, we make theatre, and then we tour it around, and that's what we do. And the theatre that we make is often a mashup between cabaret and theatre, so it exists in that world. And in this workshop, I'm going to use some of the things that I would use in a rehearsal room, or that I would use when I'm making up work, and we'll have a little go of those together. My dad is a milkman and a farmer, and my mum is a nurse, and I named my company Milk Presents after the Milk Round family business. And now I went to a really good youth theatre, and learned that you could actually do this as a job. And so now I am a screenwriter, write little bits for telly, and I'm a playwright, so I make plays, yeah? And the way I think about making plays and writing is actually just making something up, putting it on paper, and that's how I pay my rent. Yeah, and you can sometimes think of it as playwriting, this really thing that is very sort of hard to touch, and actually no, everyone here is it's infinitely possible for you to be playmakers, playwrights as well. And that's what we're going to have a go at today. We're going to make some stuff up in our heads, and we're going to put it on the paper. The first thing that I want us to do, because sometimes we can get quiet in our heads, is just shake out your hands. Just shake them out, okay? Just shake it out. And I want you to think about your morning, and I want you to just rub it off your arm and throw it away. And think about your morning, maybe it's just before lunch, or, you know, after lunch or whatever, and just throw it away. And just roll your shoulders back. And just take this moment just to breathe in and breathe out. And sometimes that can feel a little bit kind of drama-y, and just embrace that, yeah? Embrace that, be like, okay, I'm gonna look a bit silly, but that's actually fine. The next thing I want you to do is to try and make the biggest body that you can, and the biggest face that you can. So that is stretching your arms right out. How big a face can you make? Good. And now the smallest body and the smallest face. How small can you be? How small can you make your face? Okay, now biggest body, smallest face. Go. Try and fill your screen, stretch all around. And smallest body, biggest face. Good, and shake it off. Shake it off, shake it off. Good, and just let that go. Just let all of that go, and we're here, and we're in the room together, and it's all good, okay? So I've had a chatted on about who I am, and I want to find a little bit more about who you are. And don't worry, just like this is dead easy. I want you to have a think about 3 pieces of information. So the first thing I want you to think about is your name. What is your name? And the second thing I want you to think about is your pronoun. And the third thing I want you to think about is what I call the story of your name. So, do you like your name? Where did your name come from? What does your name mean? Just a little something about your name, okay? But before we do that, when I'm just like, I want your pronoun, what do I mean? What might I mean by pronoun? And again, don't overthink, don't worry, just anyone have an idea of what I mean when I say that? And sometimes when we think about this, it's like we don't quite want to get it wrong, or you're not quite sure, but don't worry too much about it. What we mean when we say, and I think it might have been in some of your brains already, when we say pronoun, you could mean like he, him, she, her, they, them. I gave you them already on the slides, but there are also other ones like sie or per. And the way I like to think about pronoun is the way I would like to refer to me when I'm out the room. Okay, so I use they, them pronouns. And so I would like you to say like, okay, their trainers, their pen, their cup of tea. Yeah, so that's the one that I use. Side note, I don't think it's totally perfect, and sometimes I use she, her, and he, him as well, but I'm a bit more comfy in they, them. Okay, so I want your name, your pronoun, and one thing about your name. So if it was me, I'd be like, I'm Leo, my pronouns are they, them, and something about my name is that I chose my name. Yeah, and also my second name means mud hut by water. Okay, so maybe I could just have one person. Does one person want to share their name, their pronoun, and something about their name?
Lois, did I see a hand up there? Amazing, go for it.
So my name's Greek, and it's like either means beloved or someone like really loves you, and she, her is normally I use.
Beloved and someone really loves you. What an amazing thing to carry around with you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, let's go Philip.
So, I searched up my name. Yeah, mine is Greek as well. And the meaning of my name is fond of horses.
Nice. And can I ask you, are you fond of horses?
I do like horses, yeah.
Okay. And Philip, what pronouns do you use?
Pronouns? I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right, because sometimes I don't know either. And the best thing about pronouns is that you kind of don't have to know, and also you can move between. So it's nice to kind of, it's okay not to know as well. Really, really good, everybody. Well done for that. Ace. What I want you to do now is have a look, please, at this image that I'm going to show you. So have a look at this image, and can you write down one word that comes to mind when you look at it? The first word that comes into your mind is often the best word. Sometimes we have that thing in our brain that's like, oh, not this word, oh, that can't be it, oh, not this word, no. Whatever word comes in to your head right now is perfect. That's the absolute best word that it could be. And I want to take that word and just pop it on your page. Ace, well done. And next, I want you to really look at this picture, and your job is to find as many characters from it as you can. So don't worry too much about who they are. Just literally, how many characters can you find? Just have a look. And when I say character, you might be looking at something and being like, is that character? I can see the word bang, or whatever you can see. I would consider that a character. Yeah, something that you could use to make a character. So how many things, how many people, how many objects, how many characters can you see?
Leo, is there a right or wrong answer to this?
Absolutely not.
Great, good.
Absolutely not.
That brought a bit of anxiety for me. That was like 100.
There is no wrong or right with this.
Great.
And the best thing about it is you might look at it one day and see and get one answer, and then you come back the next day and you'll find new things. So just have a look. How many can you find? Really have a look in the background. And remember, anything in this image does count as a character. Is there a cloud or a rainbow? Or is it the big dog that you can see? Yeah. Or let's have a look. What can you find? And then once you've had a little look at it, pop it down on your page. And maybe even only you will know exactly what you mean by those. Okay? And now I want you to pick just one of those. And again, I would go with the one that you have a little bit of a pull to. One of those characters, probably the first one that comes into your mind. What one of those characters do you have a little tug towards, something that just sparks your interest? And pick that character. And have a think about what emotion is that character experiencing? And they might not even be aware of it, but what is going on in the inside? You know, what emotion are they experiencing? And similar but slightly different question, what are they feeling on the inside with that emotion? So if they were feeling angry, on the inside, is it making them a bit sick? You know, what else is going on for them on their inside? And then thinking about the outside of this character. What are they experiencing? And what do they want to show on the outside? So it might be that they're feeling angry and a bit sick on the inside, but there's no way they're going to let anyone else know that. So on the outside, they're showing something else. So what's their emotion? What's going on the inside? And what are they showing to the world on the outside? Lovely work, really, really nice, well done. And what I want you to do is just take that and pop it to one side for a moment. What I'd like us to do is 5 objects. Oh, I've got one more question. Oh no, we've had it. No, we're good. We're back on track. We're okay. I want you to find 5 objects that are near you. Okay, so don't worry about the rest of the exercise yet. Your job is just to find these 5 objects. Off we go. And this might be a pen or a bottle of water, or it could be your cat. It could be anything. Just find those 5 objects. Okay, I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, good. What I want you to do is get these objects, and I want you to arrange them in front of your screen, creating an installation of the character that we explored just before now. Okay, so just remind yourself of the emotions that that character was feeling, thinking about what's on the inside and what's on the outside, and I want you to use that to create an installation of that character using these objects. All right, and just give it a go. And just thinking about your character, which objects do you reckon they want near the front? And which objects do you think actually this person would just leave them a little bit further behind? Which kind of colours would your character like to place near the front, and which colours don't feel quite as useful? Are your objects really close together, or are they more spread out? And you can take your time with this. Make sure that you're really happy. Have any of the little adjustments that you need to make. Good. I'm just going to give you 3 and 2 and 1. Lovely. And just step back from your installation and have a little look at it. And we're kind of switching our view from being makers, from being inside the work, to being directors, to being outside of the work and having a little look at what we've created. And now I wonder if we could go to a very upmarket art gallery that I've heard is quite local to Selby, but also actually quite local to all of you as well. And they're doing this absolutely fantastic installations in their gallery. And maybe we can all go there together.
I picked one character that I thought was sort of trying to build a bit of a barricade between themselves and the rest of the world. So I've got my notebook here, a phone there, pen there, post-it notes and a coaster. And it's all sort of like this terrible balancing act that's about to collapse at any moment, but trying to sort of create some distance between them and the rest of the world. That was sort of my thinking, at least.
Yeah, I love that. Really, really nice.
Originally, I put PC instead of this like fabric on top, but I decided not to because I didn't want to move my whole computer. So it's just a bit of fabric on my microphones, my cup, and then a phone.
I love what you've done with that. And was there one thing that you wanted to show more, or one thing you wanted to hide more with it?
I'd like to actually see the cup. That would be nice.
Oh. I love that. That's another balancing act you've got going on there as well. Thank you.
I'm not risking it.
No, don't. Thank you, Philip.
Well, my character I just thought was quite crazy and was leaping into the mouth of a scary dog without fear. So it was just quite colourful and a bit explosive.
Colourful and explosive. Amazing. Love it. Thank you.
Hello. So my character likes to have a good time. So I've got a candle here. I've got a Lanzarote coaster, a clock, a Fitbit, and a cushion to make itself feel comfortable.
So everything is about having a good time and feeling comfortable.
Yeah, just relaxing, enjoying life. Yeah.
That does look especially relaxing. Thank you. Yeah, lovely. Nice. So just thinking about the character that you've made, the one word that you thought about when you're looking at the painting, and that one word that came to mind, and the character that you created. So you've got the word, you've got the character, and you've got your installation. And I want you to just keep all of those things in the kind of forefront of your brain. And I want you to think about in my world. Okay, so just think about that character, think about what they're hiding, what they're revealing, think about the world that they inhabit, or that they inhabit, that they are in. And I want you to just keep writing in. Now I know that some of you will have done this already, and that's great. And if you haven't done it before, that's also great. But I want you to just take a moment to just keep writing whatever comes to your mind. And if you get stuck at any point, you can just keep returning to in my world, in my world. Now, if you come out of this exercise with a whole page of in my world, in my world, in my world, I am well up for that. Okay, that would make an awesome poem, an awesome piece of text. If at some point when you're writing in my world, you go off on a tangent, that's also wonderful. Okay, I want you to think about, what do they see? What do they hear? If you just think about that picture, what is going on for them in their world? And we're going to take 2 minutes just to be brave and just keep writing. Okay, does that feel clear?
So, Leah, just for clarity, because I think I've had a slight brain stew. So I'm just going to write in my world, and then based on the character and the pictures and the word that I've got, I'm just going to write a sort of stream of consciousness, like what's in my head about those things. So it's like free writing that we've done before, which is great. And then if I get stuck, I'll just keep writing in my world, in my world, in my world.
Absolutely, that's it.
And am I going to be playing music as well?
Yeah, so there'll be music underneath this. Let that also sort of infuse into your words as well. Okay, you're thinking about this character. Who are they in this picture? What are they doing? What is their world like? You're writing in my world, and we've got the music as well. And just go for it. Okay, just see what pours out.
Great.
Can we go for that now then?
I'll start the music.
Ready, and off we go. Just finish off the last sentence that you were writing. And now again, you'll be quite used to this, I think, but that's great. I want you to find 3 bits in this piece of writing. Okay, so that could be a word, or a few words, or a sentence. And make sure that you feel quite happy with these little moments, these little chunks. So it could be a word, 2 words, sentence. And when you've got those, I want you to label them 1, 2, and 3. When you've done that, just to yourself now, in your own space, read them through. So read number 1 and read number 2 and read number 3 to yourself. And you can just do that by reading them one after the other. And what we'll have created there is a little poem that can be used to summarize the character that we created. And just while you're finishing that off, sometimes if I'm getting stuck with a character or I'm getting a bit caught up in it, I will use the installation exercise, or sometimes with actors, just to get people, instead of thinking about the words, thinking about who the character is, how they operate, you know, thinking about them in a much more practical way. And with these poems, you could as well use the installation and then put the poem on top. So people would be stood around looking at the installation, and then you hear the poem over the top of it. Or someone could say the poem over the top. But for now, could we hear one of those poems? Does anyone have their poem they would like to share? So it's just bit 1, bit 2, bit 3. Bearing in mind we've literally only just created these. Okay, they didn't exist 30 seconds, a minute ago. Yeah, they did not exist. Would anyone like to share with us theirs? And you know, it's quite a bold thing to do, so well done.
Okay, my 3 pieces are: I bumble through trying to keep myself together. Frenetic and frantic, it keeps seeping back in.
Wow, nice, thank you. Would you be able to, Heidi, play that for us again? And can you just switch the order? So maybe this time read them like 3, 2, 1. Just read them the other way, and really read them as you're doing, as if they are it's the greatest poem ever written in the world. And actually, it's really beautiful what you've written. So just let's just hear it again, but in a slightly different order.
It keeps seeping back in. Frenetic and frantic, I bumble through trying to keep myself together.
Yes, very nice. Thank you. That's so cool. Thank you very much. Well done. Would anyone else like to have a go? And again, I'm aware that you've literally just made these.
Okay, in my world, crazy things happen. Dogs grow, colours explode. I am fearless. I do anything. I am really small and grey and sombre. I hide in my world.
Yes, I love that. Thank you. And again, can you change the order for us slightly? So instead of going 1, 2, and 3, could you go 2, 3, 1, or just switch it slightly? And I think as well, slow it down ever so slightly so we can really hear it a little bit as well, a little bit more. But I love the delivery being so kind of sharp in some ways, because it sort of fits with what you're doing as well. So great. Can we just hear it again, please, so we can hear it?
I am fearless. I do anything. I am really small and grey and sombre. I hide in my world. In my world, crazy things happen. Dogs grow, colours explode.
Yeah, love it. Thank you. That's so, yeah, I can almost really clearly see the picture with that one as well. They link very nicely. Can we try something with Zena and Heidi? Can we go, Zena, can you read your number 1, Heidi your number 2, and then Zena your number 3? And let's see what that would make as a poem. And everyone else, I want you to really listen. They're doing a great job at performing these for us, and just really listen, see how the words kind of feel together, what they do to you. Okay, can we go from the top, please?
In my world, crazy things happen. Dogs grow, colours explode.
Frenetic and frantic.
I am really small and grey and sombre. I hide in my world.
Lovely, nice. Okay, this time can we go, Heidi, can you read yours 1, and then Zena read your number 2, and then Heidi, let's go to your number 3, and just keep performing it in this really lovely way that you are. It's really, really good. Let's go.
I bumble through trying to keep myself together.
I am fearless. I do anything.
It keeps seeping back in.
Oh, nice. Very, very good. Thank you. And we won't do it now, but if you did do this again, you can do it with 3 people as well. So you can each have your individual poem and then label them 1, 2, and 3. And then if you've got someone who can kind of DJ it, you can just mash them together to make all these new creations. So really, really well done, everybody. Nice work there. Also, if you've got a bigger group, you can grab people, put them in 3s and get them to sort of make them together as well. And I think you two just really did that well there. I got lots and lots of images and characters coming, so really nice. I've got one final like closing task, I guess, that we're not gonna do now, but something that you could do after this workshop is to take your poem and think about how you would put it on a page. So think about which words are going to be really big and which ones are really small. Think about how you almost sculpt your page and the way that you sculpt your installation. What words come to the front, what words would rather hide. Thinking about your page as a piece of artwork almost. And then at a future time as well, you can swap and give that to someone else or to another actor or to another writer and just see what that does. If the words are not in your kind of more conventional line, what does it do when you give it to an actor in a way that is a little bit more curated? Yeah, and when I say curated, I kind of mean sculpted on the page. Yeah. So that's just 2 things that you could do. You can take your poem and, yeah, curate it or sculpt it on the page and then swap with someone and see what that does to your actors. And as a writer, that's really exciting when you make something and then you have a bunch of people read it and you learn the things that you do on the page, like how that can really affect how your actor performs it. So there's the 2 kind of closing exercises. That's it from me. I would just say that it's totally possible for everyone here to become playwrights and playmakers, and just keep thinking up stuff in your head, get it on the page, and it's easy from there. So thank you ever so much for having me and for joining in and for making such beautiful pieces, and keep in touch. Thank you.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Leo. I'm wondering whether just before we sort of finish, whether anybody has got a question that is bubbling up inside them that they'd love to ask Leo now, or something that has sort of sparked the question during the session. Does anybody have a question they'd like to ask Leo? I'm just scrolling. Oh, Zena, I can see your hand up. Go for it.
Just thank you, really, because I teach everything through physical theatre and contact and students chucking each other around, and clearly that's going to be problematic for me. So these sort of different ways of being creative are just gold. So thank you so much.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. I mean, that sounds amazing what you do as well. Great.
Oh, Rob, I can see your hand up. Go for it.
Leo, which youth theatre did you go to, and what was it? Why was it so good that it sort of got you into where you are now?
I went to York Youth Theatre, and the reason that I loved it, I still have friends that went there. You know, now I'm still friends with them, and I think it was about learning stuff that isn't just about like acting or directing. It was much more about how you work as a group, devising together, having a whole bunch of friends that are not just in school, and just having a really good time, like once a week, that makes you learn about different rules. It's outside of the school system, and you can hopefully have a space just to learn to be yourself a little bit more. So I would recommend anyone joining a youth theatre, and yeah, that's it really.
Super, amazing. I'm sort of thinking about a little question that I've got for you, Leo, really, which is about a lot of these exercises, or sorry, the sort of poem that we created today was out of a picture that you gave us. If we were going to do this again, maybe we could obviously use that picture, but is there any sort of other inspiration that you regularly use in your work that you could suggest to us that maybe we could do another time?
Yeah, well, we've already done it. I use music loads. Like whatever I'm writing to, I'll create a playlist as I go. So each show that I've ever written has its own playlist, and part of the joy of writing that show is like finding the music that I'll use for it, and then I have it as a separate playlist so that then when I'm in the depths of writing it and being like, I can't do it, I don't know what I'm doing, I have that to return to. And it might be that it might be music from the period that I'm writing about, or it could be the emotion that I'm writing about. I asked you to think about your characters' emotions, because sometimes that's different to what they say or what they show. What's going on in their belly? You know, what's really happening? And I use that to write from. So music is really super important. And then also like factual information, sometimes I will use. So if I'm writing a show that involves history, especially say with queer characters where the history is less documented, I'll do a lot of research, historical research, and I'll let that kind of just sort of wash over me, and then I'll write from the facts, or you know, I'll write from that bit of history or from that thing that I found, and use that to create something sort of non-factual, I guess.
Amazing, thank you so much. So that's sort of our session. It's flown by, but I'd encourage you to do this takeaway activity. Maybe you might want to do it this afternoon, or come back to it slightly later. It's completely up to you. This recording of this session is going to go live onto our website probably at the start of next week. So if you wanted to check back in and look on our website and find the recording and do the session again, you're more than welcome to. We've also got all our other sessions on our website that you can access and watch the videos of if you haven't been part of them. So feel free to do that too. Just before we finish, I just want to say a massive thank you both to Leo for leading the session so brilliantly, and then also to you for joining us today. So thank you so much. But it's been Tuesday, it's been Theatre Centre's online writing course, and it's nearly 3 o'clock, so it's time to say goodbye. I feel like I should be like a TV host or something right now, but you know, maybe another day. Awesome, thank you so much for joining us.